Hey everybody, welcome to Bura Tech. In this episode, I'm going to be asking the question, should you get a MacBook Pro or an iMac? Alright, welcome back. Before I start this video, I want to make sure that you like and subscribe. The more likes and subscribers we get, the more content we can make. So, in 2020, a lot of people are working from home, and this really begs the question, should you buy a MacBook Pro or an iMac, or perhaps a Mac Mini, or something that's a little bit more stationary? Now, I actually thought that this was a good idea before the pandemic, but now I think that buying an iMac instead of a MacBook Pro is the better option, and here's why. One of the reasons that I think buying an iMac is a lot better is that you get more bang for your buck. The iMac is simply more powerful, and you absolutely get a lot more power than you would with a MacBook Pro. Remember that you do have to sacrifice some performance for the portability. Now, the question that you need to answer is, are you going to be taking your laptop multiple places? Well, if you're in lockdown or you're in a pandemic, probably not. Another question you need to ask is, how much are you going to be taking your MacBook Pro places? Are you going to be taking it to the coffee shop or another place where you really can't go during a pandemic? I think the answer is no. So the real question is should you sacrifice that performance for portability? Now, if you're the kind of person that needs to have your MacBook Pro in different areas of your house, then perhaps you should still buy a MacBook Pro. But I don't do that. And one of the reasons I don't like to do that is I like to section off a place for just work. And when I enter that place, I only do work. And I think this is a huge productivity hack that fairly few people talk about. So what this means is that when I go into a specific box, I am using that box for one thing only, that is work. I am not on social media, I am not on YouTube, I am not doing anything else but work. And this is something that's really important. If you do want to watch YouTube, you go to a different box. If you want to watch videos or play video games, you go to a different box. And what this really does is it sets your brain up to think that when I'm in this specific area, I'm only doing work and focus work, because one of the best productivity hacks I have for anyone is to shut off everything and focus. Shut off your messages, shut off everything, and sometimes I even shut off the internet just to get work done. This is really important because in 45 minutes to an hour, I can be more productive than some people are all day, and that's because they haven't really sectioned off their life in this particular manner. They are on their computers, they're on their social media, they're on YouTube, Netflix, or playing video games. This is not what you want to do. You can work, play video games, watch YouTube and Netflix and all those other things, but you should definitely do that in their own specific box. I have another box where I play video games only. I have another box where I only watch TV. Now, of course, this might not be available to everyone. If you're living in a small apartment, you might not be able to do that, but this is something that you should try and do as much as you possibly can. And if you're looking to upgrade your real estate, this is something that I highly recommend that you do. So in other words, you don't want to blend these boxes. So this goes back to whether you want to have a portable computer or a stationary computer. Now, I have an office away from my home, and I basically do nothing but work in this office. And when I go home, I am not doing any work on any kind of computer. I do have a laptop for occasional use, but for the most part, the major work that I need to be done is in a specific location. Now, I'm lucky enough that I can do this, but I think it's really important because when I enter the office, it's work mode and nothing else. And when I enter the home, it's home life and nothing else. I try not to blend these as much as possible. Although running a company, it can be very difficult. So I've been working at home in one capacity or another for the last 15 years. One could say that I was working from home before it was cool. Now, I don't ever want to work from home again. I really like going to a place and specifically doing work in that specific box, which is my office. I really do like this a lot better than working from home. But I know why people would want to work from home, because maybe they had a 2-hour commute and now they can just commute to the basement, get a bunch of work done, and be more productive than they were in the office. And this is something that some people can do, but not everyone can work from home. So I don't know what the answer is to the future. I think that bigger companies are gonna have maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 days where you work from home and the rest you come into the office. Now, I don't think that the work from home thing is going to be permanent. I think it will be more than it was in the past, but I guarantee once this pandemic is over, big companies are gonna pull people back into the office. Yahoo is a really good example of a company that tried to work from home but then brought everybody back. I don't know whether or not other big tech companies are going to do this, but I do know in the future that there will be some people that work from home and they'll do a better job. Sometimes they might even work less and get paid more because they're more productive. Again, one of the things that I try to do at my company is to promote productivity versus just time. Because if a person can get something done in 2 hours versus 8, then they should be able to get paid for the amount of work that they are doing. And if they're that efficient at it, then guess what? You've learned a new, more efficient way of doing things, and you can probably produce more or better quality products. So I think that getting a portable computer right now is not really in the best interest of not only your productivity, but your wallet as well. And I like my iMac way better than my MacBook Pro. It's more powerful, it's got a bigger screen, and I really like it. Now, I got the 21.5 inch. I think the 27 inch is way too big, but that's just me. If they had a 24 inch, that would be better. Or if the bezels around the screen were a little bit smaller, I think that would also be good. So I don't think I'm gonna buy a MacBook Pro ever again, because if I am not in the office, I don't want to be doing work, and you, if you're definitely a freelancer or entrepreneur, should strive to do the same thing. Because I guarantee if you do the steps that I have mentioned by sectioning off your life, you will be more productive and probably be happier too. Maybe you can get the same amount of money coming in for less work, and that is something that you always want to do. And perhaps it starts by not buying a laptop and buying a stationary computer instead. All right, so that concludes this video. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Are you moving away from laptops to stationary computers? Have you purchased an iMac versus a MacBook Pro? Are you working on an iPad? Let me know in the comments down below. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really does help the YouTube algorithm. Our goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. If you really like this channel, you can buy our digital products down below, because we don't do a Patreon, instead we sell our digital products down below. The more money you get from the content that you buy below, the more content we can make. If you really like this channel, you can subscribe to Mac Interactive's huge library of content. We release 20 to 60 hours of fresh new e-learning content per month. We release everything from web development tutorials to machine learning tutorials to drawing tutorials to cybersecurity tutorials and more. It's the best way to help out this channel and my company, Mammoth Interactive. We have monthly and yearly options, and our goal is to get to 10,000 monthly subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.